moving on to 3A, Eric, and a lot of other people made a lot of other predictions that may not include these two teams that are in the state championship game, which is McGehee and Manila.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watched our preview, we talked a lot about Manila, and we both said McGee's a big sleeper. Do not sleep on McGehee.
All right.
I've seen both these teams, and like I've said numerous times, they play fast.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot a lot of threes. If they get hot, I don't care what classification you are,
Mm-hmm.
they can get up and pop you.
All right.
And they've been playing inspired basketball since that tragedy that hit that school
Mm-hmm.
back in December.
Yeah.
And what's really neat is you're seeing a lot of these Northeast Arkansas and Mississippi County schools supporting Manila, like
Right.
Osceola and Blytheville. It's just really been neat to see a lot of these other schools and teams
Mm-hmm.
supporting them. I saw a video of the Osceola boys basketball team in the Manila student section cheering on
Yeah.
the Manila girls,
Cheering
which
them
is
on.
really, really cool, right?
Yeah, that's real cool, man.
McGehee, another team.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people predicted them to be here.
Yep.
You and I talked about them. We said, don't sleep on McGehee.
Mm-hmm.
What can McGehee do to slow this Manila team down and to put some ball pressure on Manila and keep them from getting hot and shooting like they like to?
With this McGehee team, I saw them once earlier. I saw them online against Duma. That's always a big rivalry. But I saw them earlier in person. They played Melbourne. I believe it was down in the Jesseville tournament. But McGehee has always, for me, in my rankings, I always have that Super Six, of course. But they've always been in that second wave of teams to me. Them, Dumas, because 3A again, just like 2A, is deep. But McGehee has quietly put together a really good, kind of like Manila, a really good season. They got overlooked, I think, during the regular season. But like a lot of those South Arkansas teams do get overlooked. Dumas had a really good run at state as well. And I think McGehee really just have to keep doing what they've been doing. They've shown that they can win big, and they've shown that they can, win a close one. They came back and they lost to Melbourne in the game. I saw them early in the year, I think by about 18 or 19, came back and beat Melbourne, first round state tournament. Then they took Episcopal to overtime and won that game. And then they knocked out a team that, a lot of people, looked as the favorite, which was, Mountain View in the semis. So they're not going to be intimidated by anyone. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now, man. And, honestly, I think they literally have to continue to do what they're doing. Don't deviate from anything. And I'm pretty sure they're not. They're going to come in this game full of confidence. But just like, a lot of other teams, I don't think they want to come out and get off to a slow start, not in the, state final, because that can be tragic coming down depending on what you're doing. But I think they rebound the ball well from what I saw. I watched a little bit of the Mountain View game first half, and I watched the second half of the Episcopal game. They rebound the ball well, and they're going to pressure the ball well, man. So I think they can continue to do what they're doing. They're going to have a shot to win it, just like Manila will.
They have a guard that I saw the name pop up a lot over the past several weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Jalea Boyd, of course, the last name, great last name.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the straw that stirs that drink.
All right.
And it seems like when she gets going early, and she can put up a lot of points, and you just see it over and over again. You would see, one night 19 points, one night 26 points, one night 22, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it seems like when she's going strong, she leads that team.
Right.
And if she can control the offense, if she can, cut down turnovers, and then they put that pressure on Manila, I think McGehee can impose their will.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, Manila has this. Well, all those girls can play, but this trio of Farmer and Hadley Gibson and Chloe Helms, and those girls. A lot of teams may have one or two people that can shoot, and some people like to come out and box them on and triangle. You can't really do that to Manila because they'll just kick around, and Farmer may hit 3 or 4 threes.
Right.
Okay, well, you leave Hadley Gibson. Okay, well, she just committed to Hingers. Guess what? She'll hit 4 or 5 threes.
Exactly. Right.
Does McGehee have enough to go around the horn and clog up those shooting spots on the floor for Manila?
I think they do. If anytime you can hold Mountain View with the firepower they have to 40 points.
That is a high.
Then you've got a shot to hold just about anybody down. Mountain View has a 3 or 4 headed monster attack, and McGehee defended well. Now Mountain View, a lot of the shots wouldn't fall, but at the same time McGehee had a lot to do with that. So I think McGehee has enough to do the same to Manila, but they still had to come out and show that they can do that. And on a big stage like this. Again, that arena down there is so open. It's a little bit the depth perception is a little bit different than what you would see or what they've seen beforehand. But yeah, I think they do have enough to do it. But then actually doing it is two different things. So I think makes this one really, really intriguing because you have two teams that didn't get a lot of notoriety, statewide, so to speak. Me and you, of course, know a lot about them and a few others. But I think this one is a classic case of two teams that are playing some of their best ball at the right time. Manila, again, and just like McGehee, they've been consistent all year long. They've been winning games and doing their thing as well. So this is one of the more intriguing ones to me because it's two teams that a lot of people probably wouldn't have figured would be, at this point, at this late in the year.
Yeah. Right. Well, alrighty. 3A state championship game girls. Who you got?
I'm from South Arkansas, Pine Bluff, of course, but I'm going to go with Manila. Just because, like you mentioned, Farmer and Goodson. I watched Farmer. I think one game put up 42. I can't remember who it was, but I was watching a little bit online, watching it. And I'm like, okay, I'm watching the game. I go away from it for about a half hour and then come back and she's got 40, whatever it was. And I'm like, wow. But no, I'm going to go with Manila, man. That attack and the fact that they come out and they don't do anything different. I don't know. And I'm sure they game plan and things of that nature, man, but they come out the same way. They play their game. They're not worried about what the other team's doing. As long as they're doing what they've been coached to do, they have a shot. So I'm going to go with Manila in this one.
All right.